Oke,
Ini bahasa Inggris mengajar.
Ya, bahasa Inggris karena kita dari English Department. Jadi kita ngajarnya bahasa Inggris. Tapi karena Abang Wani mau jelaskan bahasa Indonesia, jadi jelaskan bahasa Indonesia ya.
Aku,
Ya, jadi,
aku jelek bahasa Inggris.
oh gitu. Ya bahasa Indonesia aja. Mungkin nanti bisa share yang lain, belajar bahasa Korea sama Bang Wani. Bang Wani belajar bahasa Inggris sama yang lain di sini ya. Ada yang berminat belajar bahasa Korea? Karena Bang Wani ini volunteer juga loh. He's a volunteer.
Agus, Miss.
Oh, Agus. Agus, you like
Ayam
you like K-pop? I didn't know that, Agus.
Juwita, Miss. Juwita yang suka Korea.
Oh gitu. Okay.
Yes, Miss, I like K-pop.
Oh, Agustina, not Agustinus, ya. Okay, Agustina. I thought it's Agustinus. Okay, everyone, can we just start our seminar now? Can you hear my voice clearly? Hello. Hello there, are you there? Why?
Coba satu persatu
Do you
panggil.
think my voice is clear or not, or delayed?
Clear, Miss.
Clear. Okay, I will start. I'm about to start this seminar. Okay. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good afternoon, everybody. The Honorable Mr. TOSHKO IVANOV, the Honorable Mr. Wanikas, and the loved one, my audiences. Yeah, so today we will have our seminar. Kita akan mengadakan seminar hari ini. The title is Let's Study Abroad. Yeah, okay. And then our honorable speakers are Mr. TOSHKO IVANOV and Mr. Wanikas. The first who wants to deliver is Mr. Ivanov, and then it's Mr. Wani. Okay, so without further ado, just let Mr. Ivanov to explain. Oh, but first I want to give some overview of his profile. So he graduated from both master degree and bachelor degree in Bulgaria, but he has some full-funded scholarship from Sunderland University of United Kingdom, and then also he admitted in Harvard University, and it's also a scholarship, and he also has quite a lot of experience in work field. It was the overview profile of Mr. Ivanov. So for Mr. Ivanov, please welcome. The time is yours.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, we can hear your voice.
Hello.
Hello.
Halo? Signalnya jelek.
Can you hear his voice? You cannot hear my voice?
Suara putus.
Ah.
I can hear you, Miss Pane, but I can hear, but it's delayed. It's kind of delayed a little bit.
Okay, just continue to explain your material, please.
All right.
Widi, sekarang.
When you say so, I start.
Yeah. Okay. Start.
Okay.
Okay. Hi everybody. I'm gonna start with my material now. Let me first share my screen. Just a second.
Okay.
So I hope that everybody are able to see my presentation. Can I get a confirmation from Miss Pane, perhaps, if everybody can see my screen?
Okay, everyone, can you see the screen, please?
Yes, sir. We can
Can you
see your
see screen?
share screen.
Okay, yeah, it's
Okay.
here.
And can you hear me clearly as well?
Yes, sir. We can clearly hear your voice.
Okay, so it's just Miss Widdy Pane, perhaps, having problems. Okay, so I'm gonna start, and I have created this mini guide to successful application based on my experience and the experience from others that I've been talking to lately, which includes successful students and also academia professionals. And it's not too long, but I've tried to cover the main points and to give you the best chance to do a successful application. So let's start now. First, quickly, what is a scholarship? It's a grant or a payment made to support the student's education and needs, and it's mostly based on the academic or other achievements of the student. But this doesn't mean that it's free money, because as opposed to taking a loan, which you must give back, if you take a scholarship or a grant, you must give back some of your time and some of your effort to the one that gave you the grant or the scholarship, which means that you might be required to do some extra work or to work for a particular project, and you have responsibilities. It's not just that they give you the money and that's it. It's not exactly free money. It has obligations and responsibility. So this is very important for you to know before taking such a path, because you wouldn't want to be surprised, of course. And yeah, my tip is read the fine print, because every scholarship has rules, and yeah, it's just much better if you are aware of them. For scholarships, mostly in colleges, in community organizations, in universities, from business or from non-profit organizations. And I suppose that you are postgraduate students, so you won't be able to look in colleges, but that's fine, because you actually have a better chance of landing a scholarship if you are a postgraduate student. And why is this? This is because most of the students that finish their bachelor's, for example, or colleges, they go on to work or just study and continue their career path, and they are not looking for scholarship, everybody. So you just have more chance, because not a lot of people are applying. Most of the people apply for college scholarships, so it's very hard to get in there. So for example, in Cambridge, in Harvard, and in MIT, you have much bigger chance to land a scholarship at postgraduate level than if you apply for a college. And a tip here is the earlier you apply, the better. And this is because most of the academia, the university staff, which is the professors and the selection body, the selection committee body, which actually looks the applications of another students and people and chooses whoever will take part of their plan. They want to get their work done earlier, and they don't want to wait till the last moment because they have another work at university. This is purely a human factor. So, for example, they would much rather prefer to select like 50% or 90% even if they can in the first couple of weeks, and then get on with their work and not just drag it until the last moment, which of course it may seem so, but they usually have pre-selected candidates for the scholarship, even at the earliest stages, even at the point of looking at CVs and resumes. So the earlier you try to apply, it's the better, the bigger your chances are. And yeah, how many types of scholarships are out there? Well, there are really many types of scholarships. They can be career-based. If you are trying to work in a company, in a specific company, they can be purely academic. If you want to continue in institution or university and do research, they can be for people in financial need, meaning that if you come from a poor background or your parents um, or one of your parents is not present, or maybe two, if you're alone, then there's a special scholarship for you, and it can help you a lot. And it doesn't matter what kind of degrees you have, what marks you have. Um, it's just the type of scholarships that helps these certain people. They can be also sports or community activities based scholarships, meaning that you can pursue a career in sports, in a professional sport team of any sort. They can be for a specific ethnicity. For example, it can be for Indonesians, and I have indeed seen scholarships only for Indonesians, and as they are for Asians only, or for Hispanic, or for any other ethnicity. So it helps to look for your own type of scholarship, and yeah, they can also be for a certain disability. If a person has a disability, again, it doesn't matter what kind of marks or success he has in university, there's a special scholarship for him or her. And the tip here is that um, you are not gonna just go and apply randomly on any type of scholarship, because the people that search for students, the university staff, the committee board, or the sports team, for example, they're looking for a specific and certain type of person. So he or her can help them with their projects, with their work, and you have better chance if you find who is looking for you than if you just apply randomly, because most of the time you won't be successful that way. It means that uh, a scholarship program can run for 5 or 10 years, for example, and in the first 3 years, they wouldn't be admitting anybody, and fourth year they're gonna admit 10 people, but why is that? It's maybe it's because they couldn't find suitable candidates the first 3 years, and then the fourth year some class graduated that had the right knowledge and the right skills, and then applied for the scholarships, and these were the right people for the job. Or for example, you can try to apply, you know, the fifth year, and they have already selected their candidates, and they don't need more of them. But this is just a rough example. The bottom line is that you kind of have to be in the right place in the right time, and find your own scholarship. That is very important. So some example paths for career-based scholarships, because these are the majority of the scholarships. They can be in media, they can be in business, in health and nursing, in education, science, IT, the usual routes. They can be mixed as well, as for example, you can be a medical major and land a sports-based scholarship, and this can be in a sports team. So some sports team is, for example, looking for staff to do research on nutritioning or better performance for their athletes, and they will much rather prefer to actually give a scholarship for some young, bright, smart student rather than pay a medical professional with many years of experience, because first it's gonna cost them much more to do so, and the second, it's more likely that as a student you will be well, more in time with the latest technology, because you are young and you're curious in everything. So yeah, you can land in really broad areas the scholarship that you would like, and it really doesn't matter what kind of major you are. You can also be an English major and land a job in business or in IT. It doesn't matter as long as you look and you know, they search for you. So the tip here is the least trendy one is the easier one to get in, and this is true because there are many lesser known majors and career paths that people do not strive for as the most famous perhaps scholarship is the business one, but everybody wants to do business. So yeah, perhaps it's harder. It's the hardest one to get in. Let's continue. So some examples for activity-based scholarships. That can be in student council. For example, if you have been the head of the student council in your university, or you have been you know, the head of your class, they can search specifically for your type of student, for your type of person, because they want to hire somebody like this. They can be in athletics and dance, and you know, for example, you might be an English major and love dancing, and this dancing has nothing to do with English, but some university might need to teach dance classes in English, and you will be the perfect fit. So suddenly, you would have never imagined that your hobby that has nothing to do with your major will help, but now can help indeed. That's why you should really try and research every possible scholarship. They can be in forensics, volunteering, for example. Forensics, you know, it's mostly because it's very it's not pleasant job, and they just look for students who can, you know, go there and get some experience and just fill their staff. And volunteering can be, for example, they can hire you in some community which is connected to university, in a major town which has problem with different areas of the town, and you will be required, to be there and help those people. But I wouldn't recommend that, because mostly in the West, these types of cities and communities are not very pleasant. Yeah, so what does it take to win a scholarship? Well, it takes a brilliant resume and a brilliant essay. And why is that? It's because, well, people will gonna know about you by reading your resume and reading your essay. So they won't be able to see your picture or who you are, or talk to you in the first place. So you need to do really good in the resume field and the essay field. Also, for a major universities, it takes very, very good or above average scores of a 3 to 3.5 GPA. But this isn't always the case. It's mostly the case, but you can still try with lower grades if you have outstanding achievements in the other area. You also, of course, have to have adequate language requirements, which is not very scary, because I can guarantee that with decent language, even a bit below the requirements, they can admit you again, because you can improve in this area by being there and studying in this language. But that's only if you have outstanding achievements in any other part of your CV. It takes a strong personal statement, and this is the interesting thing, that even for the most smart students, it takes well over 50 applications or tries to land a scholarship. And this is just because um, everybody wants to take a scholarship, and a lot of people apply. It doesn't mean that 50 applications are going to be stronger than yours, but people try. So do not get discouraged, and just try once or twice or 5 times. If you really want to land a scholarship, I am positive that anybody from you can do it, if you are persistent, and you are serious and pursuing that, and you apply every single year to a lot of universities and institutions. I can guarantee that maybe in 5 years you'll get admitted somewhere, if you just persist and update your CV and resume, and get better and better. But do not get discouraged, because it takes really a lot of tries for even the most smart ones to land it. And this is also because it's math and luck, so they both play a role. As I said, with luck, it is somebody searching for you at that time, and with math is that it's just, it takes a lot of tries. I know fellow colleagues from Harvard who tried to land a scholarship in lesser known universities, and they failed, and the universities, although not very great, they rejected them, but they got admitted at Harvard. So this doesn't mean that the other universities didn't see those people as really smart. It's just they didn't need them at that time. So yeah, it's just a different perspective to look at. And the whole process from selection, it takes from 4 to 5 months. That's the least. And the process is usually, you do an application online, you fill everything, and then they call you, or schedule video interview, or a meeting person in person, and then a committee board reviews your application. But of course, that was before COVID, and now maybe they'll change the process and make it purely online. That can be. I have no idea, but we're about to see that. So how to stand out, that is very important. So you have a head start from all the others. Some tips and tricks: you can start planning your applications early and inquire for information about the scholarship directly. The person responsible for the admission, which is usually the professor or the selection committee board, which is composed of professors, of many professors. So this might seem like something inappropriate, but it's not. It's because if you ask them directly for information, this is not forbidden, and they will get to know you a little bit more. They will see that you have interest, real interest in that, and of course, you can ask for, you know, for anything. Just don't make it too simple for something that is all there on the website. Just try to invent your own questions and think of something interesting to ask them about the scholarship, and yeah, they gonna remember you. And eventually, when they come across your real application, your CV, or if they call you and you meet, they will surely remember that you asked before, and this will give you really, really good edge to all the others that didn't do that. You have to highlight, of course, your unique ability and quality as a person, and that is because, as I said, they might be searching for a specific type of person, and you may never know what kind of person they search. But if you highlight yourself, you just might be that, and you'll be the best candidate. But if you don't do that, they would not have the chance of knowing that. So you have to familiarize them with yourself, and this is because, as I said, the more somebody knows you, the more chances to like you, with the committee board and the professors. So this is not a psychology trick or something. It is the real human interaction. Why not select somebody that we already know that is good? We already know his qualities or her qualities, and just work with them. It just makes sense. Why select somebody unknown and risk? So yeah, you have to make sure that they get to know you really well through your resume, CV, and with your questions with everybody. Just swarm them, as I might say. And yeah, it's very important that, as a tip, you have to submit your achievements or anything else on the optional sections. This will show that you do extra effort, which they are searching for. They're searching for people that do extra effort, and when they list the requirements in the optional sections, many people, more than, I don't know, half, just skip the optional section because why put something in there when it's optional? But this is the trick, bro. You have to remember that professors and then committee board and university, these are smart people with experience, and they have done this as a way, as a trap. That's a trap for unambitious students. So when you skip that, they just automatically assume that, yeah, this is not really ambitious person. So you have to fill everything and overfill everything with information. Do not believe in optional sections. That's my from my own experience. So let's continue. Scholarships can require much more than just academic participation. As I said in the beginning, now I'm gonna stretch that a little bit. It can require you working on campus a certain number of hours. So you wouldn't be required only to study, but to work on some project, on some invention, or just anything that they can think of, and that's why you are mostly needed. It's not because you actually study and just they already assume that you are above average from your area and you're very good at studying even by yourself, and they want some extra help in this area. So it's it's still studying, still you will get some experience, a lot of it, but it's not just for study. There are scholarships just for study, but the science based ones are mostly with work. So they might require you participating in an internship or residency program. For example, I think the universities in Singapore require 3 years after a scholarship that you stay in the country and work for some company. So this is how the country is trying to get ahead scientifically in front of other countries. Like richer countries can afford to give bigger scholarships and attain university and staff talent, and it makes sense that they'll make you stay there for a certain number of years to work and help that country and the whole business around it. So as I said, as opposed to loan, scholarships have their own requirements, and yeah, it can be for volunteering or performing surveys. As I said that it can be for working for a selected business or not working for a selected business. For example, you might land a job position in Coca-Cola, scholarship position in Coca-Cola, and they might make you sign a document that you are forbidden to work for a Pepsi. So, or just, help them. And it just varies from type to type. And yeah, I said that working a specific career and field in geographic area, you can also be required to maintain a personal code of morality and ethics. This is in in different countries. This varies a lot, and or attending religious service. So you should check out if your faith it's has anything to do with the scholarship that you are applying for, because they are like Catholic scholarships, many of them. I'm sure that there are Muslim scholarships as well. So you should just select the best one that fits you. So let's go on. How to avoid scholarship scams, because they are out there. They should never ask for money upfront. They should never use high pressure sales tactics, meaning that if you apply and then they send you congratulations email message and say that yeah, we have selected you, but you must confirm by tomorrow or by this week, and pay some small fee, whatever. This is mostly a scam, because they are not giving you time to research if this was true. This can happen as well if you apply through a third-party website and not directly from the website of the scholarship program or the university program or the institution program. So be aware of using third-party websites, because there are a lot of them out there, and it's very easy to access information. But from my point of view, just use them as a tool to gather all the available scholarships and get some information, and then go on and directly apply through the institution or the university. And they can ask for a lot of personal information, for like your bank statements. It's usually normal if you're applying for a scholarship based on financial need. But if you are not applying for that, it's not normal for them to ask that. So if you apply for a couple of different scholarships, you'll get the idea what they actually want from you as a personal information. So you will see if somebody else is trying to get more from you than it's necessary, and be aware. So let's continue again. Yeah, big university versus small university, or big country versus small country. Funding varies. Of course, bigger universities and bigger countries generally have more funding, but that's not also true, because there are small countries which have very good universities in some kind of area, and you may have a better chance there than just, you know, selecting the biggest ones in the big countries and applying there. And also because many countries and many small universities are trying to fight and you know uh, find their place in this as well, so they increase their scholarships and their funding every year is different. You know, in couple of years, every university is going to be offering different scholarships than what is now. They're generally only maybe about 100 global scholarships that are held up by big non-profit organizations or big institutions that's gonna stay for a long time. But usually all the others are just changing places. So yeah, the funding varies. There are more free places with lesser requirements in smaller universities and in small countries. This is of course true, and of course it's not entirely true, because it's really it varies. You have to do your research, because I cannot generalize so much for all the different degrees. Every degree has its unique place in this. um, so yeah, we come to the part of how to create a strong resume. First you have to use the resume specific language, and you can search more about this, and believe me, it really helps. It's not just a text or a novel. You have to abide by the rules, and that's because the professors have created those rules, and they can see whoever is trying to play by these rules, and you know, select the candidates that have the most knowledge about this. You must be active rather than passive, and writing be fact-based, purely fact-based. Again, this is a professor thing, and write it for people who can scan and read quickly, which again is also for professor thing, because you know these people get a lot of resumes, like every year they get thousands, and they search for specific keywords to try to mm, you know, see if the person would fit that, and then give them more of their time to test them. So yeah, you must just really uh, get an idea what are they searching for and how are they searching for, and understand the technology behind selecting a candidate, so you can write your resume the way they want it. Um, you can do mistakes by, I know, of course, spell wrong, or do grammar errors. If you miss basic information like email, phone information, if you use passive language instead of action words, and not generally organize well your resume, or if you make it too long. Of course, too long doesn't speak good. Uh, there may be some selection committee and professor that they see a too long resume, they just skip it. Uh, and some good examples are to be inconsistent format and in content, through your resume to make it easy to follow, balance the white space between the letters, use consistent spacing, underlining, italics, bold, and capitalization for emphasis, list headings such as experience in order of importance, and all these things. I can give the presentation to Miss Pani, and you're gonna read it again after the seminar if you want. And of course, do not just format your resume in PDF or any other file format online, because online there are a lot of websites that just do not do a proper conversion. You must use, a good software. So some bad examples again are to abbreviate, use slang that's not proper language, proper English. Include your picture because they do not care at this point, or maybe at any point, how do you look. They just want a specific type of person mentally. Or include your age or sex. This is academically irrelevant as of now. And start each line with a date. That's by listing your achievements. Of course, resume guidelines can vary from country to country and to culture to culture, and you should research that, because a resume in Germany is surely vastly different from a resume in United States or in United Kingdom. Even resume in Germany is very different than the one in Switzerland or the one in Bulgaria. So it doesn't matter if you apply in Europe, you have to also research the specific country and their culture. And this is true for Asian countries as well, and for everywhere in the world. So follow these guidelines, but on top of this, just research the culture and the country because they may have their own guidelines. And now, yeah, that's very interesting. The keywords that I've talked before and the action verbs for your resume that the professors are searching for, the selection committee board are searching for. These are some of them. Of course, you can find more online, but just to give you an idea, a basic idea, these are some of the action keywords that they scan for, and you can take a look. I've highlighted some of them, like develop, achieved, cancelled, clarified, enabled, created, specified. These are all strong action words, and mean that the way you express yourself is not how do I say, it's not uneducated, or it's not dumb, may I say, but it's more academic, more professional. So you should put that on your CV. Well, it's not required that you talk like this all the time, but at least do that on your CV, your resume. At least look professional there. And in formal language, of course, it can be different in person to person, but you have to use these for application. So how to create an effective cover letter? You should give examples to support your skills and qualifications, not just list them. I have done this, I have done that, I have this certificate, but give an examples, like why did you choose to study this, take this course, why, what skills that you have you used in real life, and how did it help? Just stretch it a little bit. You should tailor your letters to specific situations or organizations by doing the research. So yeah, tailor. I mean, every different university institution or business looks for specific types, so you should tailor your resume, like make it fit for that situation. Think of it as a marketing tool, because it is a way of promoting yourself to them. So the better you do a job, the bigger your chances are. Use a lot of action words, of course. And yeah, I mean, basically these are the the basics that you must follow, and from then on I believe that you just research more for the specific scholarship that you hope to get, and yeah, I mean, I'm sure that you have luck doing so. Now I'm gonna exit the presentation and go back to Zoom, I hope.
Okay, thank you very much
Just a
for
second.
thank you very
Yeah,
much, Mr. Ivanov. Yeah, Mr. Ivanov, you want to say something? Can you hear me?
yes, I'm open to questions.
Yeah, so everyone who got a question, please put it on the chat room, or you just can say it directly to Mr. Ivanov in the sharing section. Okay. Okay. For now.
Hello again.
Yeah. Hello. Okay. So now it's time for the second speaker to explain his material. Thank you very much, Mr. Ivanov. So wait for your question. Okay, so now our next agenda is explanation from Mr. Wani. So before he explain his explanation, please let me introduce himself. He is a Korean man, and he graduated both in a bachelor degree and also master degree in Korean. And right now he is a traveler and currently travel to Indonesia and is able to speak Indonesia. Yeah. Okay, and then for now, Mr. Wani, sekarang Mr. Wani mau menjelaskan tentang beasiswa untuk di Korea. Oke, Mr. Wani, sudah siap? Are you ready? Okay, Mr. Wani, please unmute your sound.
Ya, assalamualaikum. Aku sekarang untuk mulai di Korea beasiswa. Banyak waktu tunggu. Aku kira aku merasa banyak waktu tunggu kalian. Oke, aku sekarang untuk mulai ya. Oke, sudah lihat bisa semua?
Oke.
Oke, aku mulai ya. Beasiswa di Korea, program namanya KKS. Gimana ya? Oke, sekarang sudah banyak orang di Korea beasiswa ada. Mereka YouTuber, jadi mereka ada vlog mahasiswa waktu di sana. Jadi, apakah Anda ingin pergi ke Korea? Anda juga bisa melakukannya. Mereka tidak istimewa, biasanya semua bisa. Karena mereka juga tidak lancar bahasa Korea dan bahasa Inggris. Dulu karena ini untuk belajar bahasa Korea dan kuliah. Oke. Presentasi isinya status aplikasi, proses mendaftar, proses jadwal, beasiswa pembagian periode, beasiswa pembagian isi, penilaian, data, perlu surat apa seperti ini. Oke, status aplikasi. Usianya sampai 40. Usianya sampai 40 bisa, dan nilainya nilai minimal 2,64 dari 4. Jadi nilainya 2,64 di atas semua bisa. Terus sudah punya ijazah dan nilai. Kalau mau mendaftar S2, ijazahnya S1 harus punya. Kalau mau S3 harus punya S2, ijazah dan nilai. Lanjut. Proses pendaftaran. Ini tulis dokumen. Pertama ada formular dokumen. Tulis dulu dan persiap dokumen juga dulu. Dan kirim dokumen kedutaan atau di Korea Universitas, harus pilih salah satu. Proses jadwalnya 2021 tahun ini sudah mulai. Februari sampai Maret ini bisa kirim dokumen. Periode pendaftaran berbeda untuk setiap universitas. Jadi, tapi biasanya semua Februari sampai Maret. Terus, kalau sudah setuju, ada wawancara. Wawancara antara April atau Mei. Terus, pertengahan Juni ini semua berhasil, kandidat terakhir yang berhasil kasih. Jadi ini semua orang kita tidak bisa tahu ketika ini. Lanjut, memasuki di Korea awal Agustus. Jika sudah setuju dan lolos beasiswa di Korea. Lanjut. Tadi kalau mendaftar S2, periodenya 3 tahun. Beasiswa pembagian periode. Jadi 1 tahun penelitian bahasa Korea, 2 tahun belajar universitas, pilih jurusan ini belajar. Kalau S3 jumlahnya 4 tahun, 1 tahun pelatihan bahasa Korea, dan 3 tahun belajar universitas. Karena kadang-kadang ada tidak pakai bahasa Inggris mata kuliah. Jadi 1 tahun dulu belajar bahasa Korea, ada program. Ini juga semua gratis. Dan ya, oke. Jelas di sini. Beasiswa pembagian isi ini
beasiswa pembagian periode S2 3 tahun.
Biaya penerbangan ini diberikan. Ini juga gratis. Dan awal datang dukungan uang 2 juta. Jika jadi terus biaya hidup 1 bulan 10 juta memberi. Jadi kalau 3 tahun memberi uang 360 juta. Lanjut, universitas biaya masuk 3 tahun atau 4 tahun, ini juga semua diberikan. Jadi, belajar di universitas semua gratis. Biaya penelitian 2 juta, biaya disertasi juga 5 juta mendukung. Lanjut, penilaian data. Jadi, siapa bisa banyak orang mendaftar? Kalau banyak orang mendaftar, siapa bisa? Pertama, lihat nilai sekolah, nilai S1 atau nilai SMA. Terus nilai bahasa, topik atau TOEFL. Topik ini bahasa Korea, ujian. TOEFL ini bahasa Inggris, ujian. Terus surat perkenalan diri. Ini ada formular dokumen seperti nama saya Wani dan saya background di Indonesia, jurusan apa seperti ini, perkenalan diri tulis. Dan surat rencana belajar ini juga tulis. Surat rekomendasi dari orang, 2 orang ini juga penilaian data. Kalau ada buku yang diterbitkan atau disertasi ini juga penilaian data. Jadi ini juga tambah lebih bagus. Terus, jadi kalau gitu apa perlu surat? Apa perlu surat? Dan aku sekarang mau mendaftar, bersiap-siap dokumen ini. Formular aplikasi. Ini form 1. Pernyataan tujuan. Ini juga tulis dan bersiap. 2 surat rekomendasi. Ini dari 2 orang. Perjanjian pemohon GKS. Penilai medis pribadi. Ini juga tulis. Lanjut, ijazah bachelor degree. Kalau mendaftar mau S2, ijazah perlu S1. Dan transkrip bachelor degree juga S1. Kalau mau mendaftar S3, S1, S2 semua perlu ijazah dan transkripsi. Jika tidak ada bahasa Indonesia, tidak ada bahasa Inggris, harus ini perlu transfer dan notaris. Lanjut, bukti dokumen kewarganegaraan pemohon. Jadi ini contoh suratnya, kartu keluarga dan akta kelahir. Jadi ini juga kalau bahasa Indonesia perlu tukar bahasa Inggris transfer. Oke, ini semua aku penjelas sudah perlu surat. Jadi apa beda? Aku mau S1. Kalau mau S1 mendaftar, periode aplikasi adalah September. Kalau mau S2 atau S3 mendaftar, periode aplikasi adalah Februari. Jadi sudah sekarang untuk mulai mendaftar. Jadi kalau mau mendaftar, sekarang bisa mendaftar. Jadi masuknya September bisa. Apakah Anda siap untuk pergi ke Korea? Kalian juga bisa. Jadi kalau bisa orang siapa? Baru siap-siap dulu dan rapi-rapi baru siap. Pasti bisa. Oke, aku sampai di sini penjelas sudah selesai. Jika Anda memiliki pernyataan yang lebih detail, silakan hubungi saya. Nomor WA ada, kalau email. Aku bantu tulis bagaimana lebih detail dan hubungi di mana, mendaftar di mana, aku bisa bantu-bantu kalian. Oke, terima kasih aku sampai di sini. Ya, sudah selesai.
Oke, thank you very much for Mr. Wani ya. Terima kasih Mr. Wani untuk penjelasannya. Ya, jadi itu
Ya.
tadi penjelasan. That's all the explanation from Mr. Ivanov and then Mr. Wani. Ya, I think both of the speakers just gave us a very strong explanation. Ya, very useful explanation that maybe we just need it in the future gitu. Siapa tahu habis ini langsung guru-guru mau apply beasiswa gitu ya. Mungkin bisa
Ya.
beasiswa di Korea dibantu sama Mr. Wani. Itu dibayar nggak Mr. Wani?
Tidak, gratis.
Gratis, oke. Jadi yang lain nggak usah malu-malu ya, tanya aja Mr. Wani. Tadi ada nomor handphonenya, nomor WhatsApp-nya bisa dihubungin ya sama Mr. Wani. Oke, thank you very much. And now our sharing section. Ya, jadi oke, di chat ada nomor handphonenya Mr. Wani. Silakan simpan kalau mau ya. Oke, and then any question for both speakers, Mr. Ivanov or Mr. Wani? Do you have something that you think you need them to explain again, or you just want to make sure, yeah, just want to make sure, are you just get it right, gitu. Oke, ada yang mau bertanya secara langsung? Kalau mau bertanya secara langsung silahkan ya. Reki tadi katanya mau bertanya. Reki, please ask your question. Oke, Reki. Who you want to ask, Mr. Ivanov or Mr. Wani?
Mr. Wani first. Okay.
Wani first. Okay.
Mr. Wani itu saya mau nanya aja nih apa ya? Itu tadi kan beasiswa ke Korea gitu. Itu kalau ke Jepang ada kenalan atau gimana gitu? Yang kedua itu kalau daftar beasiswa ke luar negeri itu pakai agensi gitu nggak atau individual?
Oh ini, sebentar. Ini tadi ini semua tadi pemerintahan Korea.
Jadi tidak pakai agensi ya, mandiri. Mereka sendiri yang
individual.
Tidak, semua tadi pemerintahan Korea.
Oh iya.
Dan Mr. Wani pun bukan agen, tapi volunteer. Cuman untuk membantu ini mentranslate bahasa Korea, mungkin kayak gitu. Ada yang butuh kuliah S2 di Korea mungkin gitu ya. Kan Reki tahun ini bisa lulus ya? Ya, insya Allah. Ya, oke. Next question, Reki.
I want to asking to Mr. Ivanov.
Okay, Mr. Ivanov. Mr. Wani, can you stop the share screen, please?
Ya, sudah.
Okay, good. Okay, and then Mr. Ivanov?
Yes, I am here.
Yeah, where are you?
I'm here. You can ask me.
Okay, yeah.
Anything.
Okay. Okay, Ricky.
Mr. Ivanov, I have followed your explanation about the technique of resume.
Yes.
I like it, but you also said about humanity interaction. That phenomena also happen in this country.
In every country, and believe me or not, it happens much more in the Western countries. There's also corruption. There's also personal connections. But here, I know what you're asking me. You're asking me if the more human interaction with somebody will give you an advantage, admitting that person in university or in business, everything. Of course, but here it's called business connections and business meetings. In Europe and in United States is kind of legalized. For example, in Germany, it's perfectly normal some company to ask its employees to find a candidate. So basically the one that they know, they recommend, and that's it. They go and work. And
Okay.
it's not, yeah, and it's the same with universities as well. In big positions, in big scholarships, it just, if you know somebody, you can recommend him to the job, and yeah, it will happen. And you can also
So
create such connections by yourself from nothing. Just get to know the people that are responsible for that, and interact with them in any way possible. This will give you advantage, and it's not forbidden. It's not something that's forbidden.
So it's normal, not like nepotism, something like that, right?
okay,
Yes,
so
of
how
course,
strong
it's very normal.
Yes.
okay, sir. So how strong the strong resume if they put the human interaction in the first line before the resume?
Well,
The creativity, I mean.
yeah. If, well, it is both ways. So they are not only searching for, let's say, one or two people for the job. They mostly search for a couple of people, but usually the ones with connections, with personal connections and everything, they're not gonna be so much as you think. So you still have a chance by only having creativity and strong resume and everything. I'll say there are three types of candidates that they search for. One is the typical smart student with higher degrees, with high degree, with good scores. The another type is somebody really creative with not a lot of higher degree. And the third type is by personal connections. So you all have a chance.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Is it clear for you,
Thank you.
Ricky? Yeah. Thank you,
Yes,
Ricky.
it's
And
clear.
okay, and then next question, please.
Okay, Miss.
Ya, oke, Vita.
Halo. Saya mau tanya ke Mr. Wani.
Oke. Oke, Vita. Silakan.
Jadi pertanyaan saya, apakah diperbolehkan ketika seseorang yang sudah mengampu S2 mengambil beasiswa S2 misalnya di Korea gitu beasiswanya. Dan kemudian untuk pada saat ini kan sudah dibuka untuk pengaplikasian beasiswa di S2 untuk beasiswa Korea. Apakah itu ada linknya? Misalnya teman-teman saya ada yang berminat kan saya juga bisa nyaranin gitu. Terima kasih.
Ini isinya ini
Oke, thank you.
bisa ulang? Maaf ya, aku tidak mengerti.
Oke, saya...
Oh ya.
Oke, Vita, bisa dijelaskan lebih singkat?
Jadi
bisa.
pertama pertanyaannya, apakah diperbolehkan ketika seseorang yang sudah mengampu S2 atau sudah belajar di S2 tetapi ingin mengambil beasiswa S2 di Korea lagi?
Jadi maksudnya hanya mau belajar bahasa Korea?
Ya, tapi pada saat ini dia juga mengampu S2 di Indonesia. Tapi dia pengen ngambil juga di Korea, seperti itu. Apakah diperbolehkan?
Jadi, Mr. Wani, Vita ini adalah mahasiswa S2. Baru aja lulus S1. Sekarang mahasiswa S2 gitu. Apakah boleh dia mengambil S2 di Korea dan juga tetap mengambil S2-nya di Indonesia seperti itu? Seperti itu, Vita?
Iya, benar.
Tidak boleh. Maksudnya lanjut tambah tidak bisa.
Oke.
Kalau di sana berhenti bisa follow berhenti Indonesia S2 dan di sana pergi hanya belajar 1 tahun dan kembali di sini S2 bisa. Jadi ijazahnya di Indonesia.
Oh.
Oke, jadi Vita harus seandainya nanti daftar terus dapat di Korea, kita harus pilih tuh mau di Indonesia atau di Korea. Kayak gitu ya Vita. Nanti pasti ada pertimbangannya gitu, ya kan?
Iya, Miss.
Iya, oke.
Iya.
Tetap semangat ya.
Iya kan, soalnya dari beberapa teman itu punya pengalaman seperti itu juga. Dia lagi ngampu juga, kemudian ambil beasiswa di luar negeri gitu. Jadi satunya memang satu dicutikan, jadi satunya bisa ngambil gitu. Tapi kan kalau mungkin di beasiswa Korea memang harus salah satunya harus selesai itu mungkin ya.
Kalau itu mungkin double degree ya. Kalau double degree bisa ambil di Indonesia, di sana juga. Terus degree-nya juga nanti MPD, misalnya MPD, MTESOL misalnya kayak gitu ya. 1 tahun di sini, 1 tahun di sana. Ya.
Ya, kemudian pertanyaan saya kedua, Miss.
Oke. Untuk Mr.
Itu tentang linknya yang ini kan.
Oke.
Bisa dibagikan nggak atau ada contohnya gitu?
Oke, apakah Mr. Wani punya linknya? Ataukah linknya itu bahasa Korea semua gitu? Makanya Mr. Wani pengen bantuin gitu.
Iya.
Tapi boleh deh di-share sama mereka-mereka, kan bisa ditranslate ya halamannya gitu. Jadi Vita dan teman-teman juga bisa lihat informasi-informasi yang lain gitu. Apakah ada linknya, Mr. Wani?
Nah.
Mr. Wani,
Ya.
Mas Gimana? Apakah ada linknya?
Ada link artinya apa?
Linku.
Link.
Ya,
link mahasiswa.
Nah, link untuk beasiswa.
Oh, link untuk beasiswa. Ada?
Oke, mungkin bisa di-share nanti ya. Kalau misalnya Vita nge-WA Mr. Wani atau Mr. Wani bisa share di sini juga mungkin bisa gitu. Kalau enggak nanti aja di WhatsApp ya. You can contact him later after this, okay?
Oke, Miss. Thank you, Mr. Wani.
Ya, sama-sama.
Okay, thank you, Vita. Yeah, and then
thank you, Miss Widi.
Yeah, and then it's from Debbie. Yeah, Debbie asked question to Mr. Wani. So, Debbie pernah ikut belajar Hangul dan bahasa Korea. Apakah tetap harus belajar 1 tahun lagi kalau misalnya sudah bisa belajar Korea? Apa langsung kuliah 3 tahun itu? Gimana, Mr. Wani? Kuliah 2 tahun ya kalau master degree.
Kuliah 2 tahun master degree?
Ya, kalau misalnya udah pernah belajar bahasa Korea, apakah perlu belajar bahasa Korea lagi di Korea, ataukah tidak perlu?
Oh, ini ada ujian topik. Topik. Di sana ada topik. Mungkin aku tidak ingat. Tapi mungkin topik 3 atau topik 4 sudah setuju ujian, tidak ada lagi belajar. Jadi 6 bulan seperti 6 bulan dan langsung masuk S2 bisa.
Oke, kalau misalnya
jika ada topik nilai.
Oke. Kalau misalnya lulus bisa langsung kuliah ya. Tidak perlu belajar.
Ya.
Oke, Debbie, sudah jelas, Deb? Oke, ada pertanyaan lagi yang mau bertanya langsung sama Mr. Wani atau Mr. Ivanov? Oke, Debbie bilang, thank you. Oke, ada yang mau bertanya lagi? Agustina? Adinda? Kayaknya Adinda tadi mau tanya deh. Atau Haya? Nobody want to ask further question? Sebenarnya udah mau selesai waktunya ya. Oke, jadi saya mau tanya.
Saya, Miss.
Oh, siapa tuh? we start?
Saya misalkan
Oke, Agustina. Oke, Agus.
ini kalau mau misalkan kita daftar beasiswa S2 itu
Slowly, please.
misalkan kita sudah misalkan kita sudah lulus kan beasiswa S2-nya itu misalkan kita sudah mau ke Korea. Itu perjalanannya itu biaya perjalanannya itu semuanya itu asrama atau tempat tinggal itu jadi biaya semua nggak?
Oke, tadi kayaknya udah dijelasin, cuman mungkin butuh penjelasan lain, penjelasan lebih jelas lagi ya. Oke, Mr. Wani, jadi apakah biaya travel itu diberikan pemerintah Korea, ataukah pakai biaya sendiri dulu gitu? Apakah di cover sama Korea?
Oh,
perjalanan.
hanya apa? Asrama atau gimana ya?
Ya kayak tempat tinggal.
Oke, tadi kayaknya
tempat tinggalnya ini beda-beda.
Ya.
Kalau universitas contoh 연세 tidak diberi, tapi 국민 memberi kos-kosan semua gratis. Kadang-kadang ada makan juga diberi, tapi 1/1 beda universitas.
Oke. Berarti berbeda.
Tapi uangnya cukup 1 bulan 10 juta. Kalau kos-kosan, maksudnya sewa. Kalau sewa, ini cukup. Tapi lebih baik gratis kos-kosan. Ada universitas, tidak kasih universitas. Jadi 1/1 beda.
Apakah di sana boleh part-time?
Bisa. Ada YouTuber part-time dan kuliah.
Oke, berarti walaupun uangnya 10 juta itu pas, tapi masih bisa kerja ya? Kerja anak kuliah
bisa
nambah duit jajan.
Kerja.
Ya?
Bisa.
Oke, jelas Agus? Oke, semangat ya Agus.
Oke. Kalau jika ada tanya detail, langsung tanya lagi ya.
Ya, tadi ada nomor WhatsApp-nya ya. Nah, nanti Miss Widi bisa share PowerPoint-nya. PowerPoint dari Mr. IVANOV sama Mr. Wani ke grup kelas kalian, oke? Oke, ada lagi pertanyaan? Kalau nggak ada,
Miss.
Oke, Haya.
Ke Mr. Wani.
Oke, Mr. Wani.
Kan kalau misalnya kita dapat beasiswa gitu, kalau udah lulus nanti kita bakal kayak ada ngapain di sana beberapa tahun atau boleh langsung balik ke negaranya.
Just like the explanation of TOSHKO ya.
Yeah.
Do you need to work there for years or not? You just come back to Indonesia, something like that, ya?
Iya, Miss.
Oke. Bagaimana, Mr. Wani?
Maksudnya 3 tahun kemudian?
Ya, apakah?
Jadi sudah lulus. Ini terserah kamu, semua bebas. Maksudnya sekarang corona, jadi masuk visanya tidak ada. Tapi beasiswa ini mendukung visa juga 3 tahun atau 4 tahun masuk di Korea. Jadi tinggal di sana 3 tahun atau 4 tahun mendukung. Kalau lulus, sudah habis visa, kamu bisa tukar kerja atau jalan-jalan lagi-lagi semua bebas bisa.
Oke. Ada lagi? Any more question? Kalau nggak ada pertanyaan, I want to ask question to the both speaker. Ya, saya mau tanya Mr. Wani ya. Mr. Wani, apakah beasiswa ini ada setiap tahun gitu? Karena di sini kan ada yang bakal lulus tahun depan lagi, ada yang lulus tahun ini gitu. Apakah ada setiap tahun biasanya beasiswa ini?
Ya, ada setiap tahun. Tapi tahun depan perlu ujian topik.
Tahun depan perlu, tahun ini tidak?
Tahun ini tidak.
Oh,
Jadi karena tidak terkenal sekarang, jadi banyak orang muda-muda masuk.
oke.
Tapi terkenal tahun depan, mereka bikin hukum perlu TOEFL atau topik seperti ini.
Oke, berarti tahun depan lebih susah levelnya ya?
Iya ya.
Okay. Okay, now my question to Mr. Ivanov. So, Mr. Ivanov, according to your explanation, Mr. Ivanov, are you there?
Yes, of course.
Okay. According to your explanation, you have mentioned some aspects of what they want to see in the applicant. There are GPA or resume, and then CV or something like that. Do you think the resume is even more important than GPA or their skill or their something like that? Do you think the resume is the most important that they see from you?
Well, I think yes, because naturally the people with the higher degree with the best scores are gonna be selected no matter what. I know if they search for really smart people, they're gonna just look at the GPA and just select them. But there are institutions, universities, businesses that look for something else. And this is creativity, this is personality, this is a whole different thing than just being a good smart student, which you can also be, but you don't just have the greatest grades, and you can promote yourself by listing these outstanding achievements in other areas. In your real life, your hobbies, your interests. You might think that this has nothing to do with having good grades at a certain degree, and why mention that, but it's indeed very, very important, because you have no idea what they are searching for. So yeah, do not be shy about it. Be very expressive, active, and the more creative you are, the more ambitious you are, they're gonna see that. And do not be discouraged if you don't have the greatest grades. There have been many exceptions of people being accepted to top universities in the world without having 3.0 GPA. That's a fact. So if you're one of those people that possesses something outside of the normal, of the usual, of course, we're not talking here about just poor students who don't like to study and have bad grades. We're talking about people who have some extra talent in other areas, or talents in many other areas. So when they split themselves in those different areas, they just cannot focus on just grades and be the best, but they possess many other qualities and interests. So yeah, these people are searched for by universities as well, and if you're one of them, do not be shy. Just apply, have more courage, and you might be the best fit for somebody you might never know. So yeah.
Okay. So so for the student here, if you will to take the a scholarship, whether it's in Korea or Europe or America or Australia, whatever you want to do, make sure that you make a very strong resume. Make yourself outstanding, right? Make yourself outstanding, so your chance
Yes.
to be
Yes.
to be chosen is higher than those who just smart academically but not too active in organization, something like that, or just yeah, not too active and so on, right, Mr. Ivanov?
Yes, exactly. And I think that, you know, Indonesians have a very, very good chance in the world, in being accepted in top universities, top businesses. Maybe, you know, you can be the next Asians, you know, the next Chinese, as you know, like 10 or 20 years ago, there weren't many Chinese, but they have just learned the process of making a qualification, a strong qualification, and suddenly all of nothing, you know, it just turns out that they're very ambitious and good, smart people, and they know the whole process, how to apply here. And I think that you also, Indonesians, do not know the whole process. It's not very clear, but once you get to know this, as I said, many things that you might think is corruption or is forbidden here, uh, you know, it is in fact legalized, and it is in fact a usual normal thing to do. So familiarize yourself with the process and how different it is, and you have really, really great chances, I believe, because you are, you know, unique culture, very good people, and yes, you have the greatest chances.
Yeah, okay, good point, Mr. Ivanov. Okay, is there any question again? Anyone? And then have you fill the certificate form? I want to remind you that there is a link for a certificate, and then just fill the form so that you can get the certificate from today's seminar. Okay, have you? The audience?
Yes, Miss.
Oke, good. Semuanya udah ya?
Sudah nih.
Oke.
Lampu di belakangnya bagus.
Iya, dia kedip-kedip ya. Oke, jadi di sini nggak ada pertanyaan lagi. No more question for Mr. Ivanov and also Mr. Wani. It's all clear. And if you want to get detail from Korean government, just contact Mr. Wani. Okay? Okay, everyone? If there's no question before we close our seminar, please turn on your video. We will have our photo session, okay? Please turn on your camera, everybody, boys and girls, Mr. Speakers. Okay. I can see your faces now, ya. Udah pada mandi semua?
Not yet.
Can you give me just a second?
Okay. Mr. Wani, can you just bisa dinyalakan videonya, Mr. Wani? Okay. Wani, video please.
Ya, aku di sini.
Okay. Mr. Ivanov, where are you? Okay, and then others?
I'm here.
Blank.
Here, I'm here.
Okay. And then Anes, where are you, Anes? Okay. Okay, so just smile because we want to take the picture. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, once more. Yeah, maybe some funny pose. Some funny pose. Yeah, how to make funny pose, yeah. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, maybe we can just make this sign since it's like Widyagama sign. It's W, right? Yeah, just say it's W. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, well done. Yeah, thank you very much for your attention, the audience, and that my gratitude to Mr. Ivanov and also Mr. Wani, who is willingly to deliver the knowledge to our students, so they have already knowledge about they have like some what is that? About study abroad. Yeah, they have some kind of explanation about studying abroad. Okay, thank you very much for today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bye bye.
Bye bye, Mr.
Thank
Ivanov.
you, Miss.
Bye.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Everyone, voice
Miss.
is closed.
Thank you, Miss.